On today's show, Aaron Gordon, the latest Nugget to get injured. We'll talk about how long he might be out and who could step into the starting lineup for him. Also, Marc Stein joins the show to discuss if the Nuggets could be interested in Lonnie Walker. All that's coming up on the DNVR Nuggets Podcast. All right, here we go. Lots to discuss, D-Line. Lots to discuss.
Yeah, dude. We going right into politics, or what are we doing?
It is voting day.
It is voting day.
Brendan voting day.
Ironic, wouldn't you say? Ironic?
Where is he? I don't know.
Voting day, vote not available. This is feels a little bit conspiratorial.
Interesting. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the DNVR Nuggets Podcast. We are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why, whatever the moment is. It's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm Harrison Wind. I got Eric Wedum with me running the two-man game today.
Can you believe it? They said it couldn't be done. I could actually completely believe it, because for there to be a two-man game means that two of the four-man game have to take off, which seems more likely than unlikely.
That is correct. Also still sounds like you have a crow in your mouth from last night.
Well, listen, you end up with crow in your mouth when you end up eating so much of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What have you done since last night's Nuggets win?
Since last night, I had a difficult time falling asleep because I got all jazzed up watching the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
I forgot what that's like, where you go home and it's such a stupid game, and it started at midnight o'clock, and then you got home and it was like really late, and then you're jazzed up.
Can we stop starting games at 8 o'clock for no reason? Well, I guess they did something weird with all the different staggered starts because every team played yesterday, but in general, no more games at 8 o'clock.
Well, here's the thing.
Unless absolutely necessary.
Here's the thing, and this is what's hard to remember sometimes, is that ball is life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like life happens, and that means ball happens. And sometimes you got to show the basketball gods, anyone paying attention, that you are worthy of the gifts that we were given. That's all.
That's what we got to do. On that note, our top story, breaking news about an hour or two ago from Shams Charania. Aaron Gordon is hurt.
Bro.
Aaron Gordon, he's going to miss multiple weeks. It seems like that could be minimum 2. You know, I don't know how much longer it could be, but maybe it could be 3. Maybe it could even be a little longer. He's going to miss that time with a calf injury. It's being called a calf strain, and he's going to be out of the lineup beginning tomorrow against the OKC Thunder.
Beginning last game after the second quarter.
That is true.
What a massive bummer. Soft tissue injuries like that are like, that is such a insane injury. There's no timetable. It is, you can't just get over it. It takes, and especially for a basketball player, that totally sucks. I'm bummed out. This is the second week of the season, and both Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon have already missed time and are going to miss more.
Yeah. So it's a right calf strain. What's interesting is he has been on the injury report with both a right knee contusion and right calf inflammation. So this was definitely something that was bothering him. Doesn't seem like it was a strain or it had gone to that level before last night's game, but it was something that was bothering him, and he had been playing through it the last couple of games. And you're right. Soft tissue injury, like a hamstring, like a calf strain, this isn't something that's going to go away quickly, and this isn't something that has a finite amount of time that it takes to heal from. This can be something that bothers him for a while. Hindsight's 20/20, but now it seems kind of crazy that he was playing tonight or playing last night, even with his calf bothering him.
Well, listen, I mean, the Nuggets are in a weird place. They're losing ground. They lost a starter. I mean, they got to figure it out. They can't just keep dropping winnable games. So I'm not that surprised, but what a bummer. What a huge bummer.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, this is a rough start to the season. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to shoot you straight.
The Nuggets handed out 2 big money extensions this offseason. One went to Jamal Murray.
Yep.
The other went to Aaron Gordon. Both are hurt 2 weeks into the year. Jamal, I guess, concussion a little different, but
how heavy
both are out of the lineup 2 weeks into the year.
How heavy was the bag each was given? Is that what the issue was? They strained themselves on the bag. Yeah, dude, that's a big FU from the basketball gods. Again, we have to repent. I don't know what else to say, people. At a certain point, it's beyond X's and O's.
So, I mean, the Nuggets have to make some lineup decisions pretty quickly here, and that starts tomorrow. It's nice that they can ease into their schedule and their next opponent with this lineup in flux. Oh, they just played the Oklahoma City Thunder, who look like an absolute juggernaut in the West right now. But I mean, they got to decide who they're starting, who gets elevated in the rotation, off the bench.
So bad.
Because, Aaron Gordon, 30-plus minute per game player. Just from your initial read, your initial thought, Aaron Gordon out of the lineup, who do you think should start in his place? What's your initial thought on it?
I think probably P. Watt.
Yeah.
I think probably P. Watt. Potentially Zeke. I think those two have to be the top candidates. Wouldn't you think?
I would agree.
Unless they do something where they put DeAndre Jordan in and they make Jokic the power forward.
That does not seem like a likely option.
Is anything not a likely option at this point? Michael Malone has thrown out some wild options.
Yeah.
It's not or if they put in, if a Vlatko, I guess he's still injured as well. So
he is injured.
I can't imagine it'd be Dario.
So let's go through the options. I think you're right. Peyton Watson to me seems like the most likely option, for a couple reasons. First off, he's coming off his best game of the season. And I think if you're the Nuggets, you look at what he did, last night and starts the season for P. Watt. But what he flashed last night against the Raptors was really encouraging. That was more of the Peyton Watson from last year that we got really excited about. And the other reason I think you might look to Peyton Watson is last year he stepped in for Aaron Gordon when AG was out of the lineup for a couple games. Dog bite was the reason. And if you look at those 2 games, Peyton Watson played really well. 20 points against Memphis in a blowout win, and then he had 14 points against Oklahoma City. That was in a blowout loss. But from what I remember about those games, Peyton Watson looked pretty good in those minutes. And the Nuggets were really excited about how he looked in those minutes. They were really encouraged. And so I think the right idea would be for Denver to look back to that and say, okay, maybe this is the time for P. Watt. He has a good game against Toronto. This is the time when he can really ramp back up and rediscover, his game and build some confidence, and we can put some trust in him. Because the Nuggets need Peyton Watson to, make a mini leap this season, it feels like. They need him to be a real guy for sure. And this feels like an opportunity to me to start that process for real.
Yeah, I'm just kind of imagining here another, potentially crazy, but potential option that they could go with is that you bring Strother in. Westbrook is the 1, Strother is the 2, Christian's the 3, Michael Porter Jr. the 4, and then Jokic at the 5. Yeah, we've seen MPJ play the 4 before.
Yes.
If you felt like you wanted more shooting to surround Jokic with rather than defense, that might be a better option than P. Watt. But it is we do have a bunch of a bunch of wings suddenly that we can kind of toy around with, guys that can play different positions. I don't know. I think if I had to bet, I would bet on probably P. Watt.
I think I would too. But I think you do bring up some good points that there are other potential options out there.
Yeah.
Michael Porter, moving him to the 4 feels like a potential option.
It certainly wouldn't be the first time.
Him playing the 4 has been a lineup that's worked well in the past. Are we having some audio issues?
It says it's coming in and out.
Yeah. Michael Porter at the 4 has been a really good offensive lineup for the Nuggets in the past. You get more spacing. You get a little bit more versatility. Defensively, I would be concerned about that
Definitely.
lineup for sure.
Definitely.
And you have Yoke and him.
Bad.
Michael Porter has just been so bad defensively this season, man. Like he's taking a big drop off there from where he was last year, in my opinion, for some reason. I don't know why. And then Strother, who's really struggled defensively as well. That's a little scary at the 3. So offensively, that lineup would probably be more potent than P-Watt at the 4. But
but I mean, you put Strother at the 2, so he gets
right.
Him
and then
Christian
Brown at the 2,
Christian
3,
at the 3.
Yeah.
It's I don't. Yeah, I would view that as we feel offense is more important than defense in this lineup. But like I said, I think that there's just a plug and play option. It's just like literal next man up.
Yeah. Here's another option. What about Zeke Naji?
We mentioned it. It's not. I mean, listen. It would be interesting.
That's one way to put it.
I literally cannot believe what the tarot cards have done to me. I have confidence in Zeke Naji that he has not earned at all. And I think it's going to work because of the tarot cards. And I want him to get a chance. I don't know how else to explain it.
So he looked okay last night.
I know.
Got 14 minutes, played some next to Jokic. Only a -2. Missed a 3, but did have a dunk. Missed a dunk as well.
Missed a dunk. Dude, I'm telling
that
you.
That missed dunk was, I almost had to leave the building.
Oh, wait, so nobody could hear us? Is that what's happening?
No, I think we're fine. But Zeke, we all want him to play more 4. This is an opportunity for him to play more 4.
I just can't explain everyone's newfound confidence in Zeke outside of the tarot cards. Can you? Because I feel it myself.
That's where it's coming from, let's be honest.
I don't have any other explanation, and yet I feel strongly about it. Like, make sense.
Yeah. And maybe you think, we can keep the bench unit a little more intact if we have P-Watt there.
Yeah.
We can slide. Zeke, solid defensive option.
Yeah.
Probably a better rebounder at this point than Peyton Watson. He's a little bigger. Probably a better three-point shooter as well.
Yes.
So that's the argument for him. I just don't think Zeke is good, first off.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
And it just doesn't really seem like a productive move. Like Peyton Watson, putting him in the lineup, that can have a lot of long-term positive effects. I think if you put Zeke there, maybe you raise his trade value some, but I don't know if it has the same long-term outlook.
Yeah. I think the Nuggets are going to completely change the way they play here. I think they're really going to start running the ball and pushing the ball.
Yeah.
After last night, I think they really feel like they discovered something, and now especially missing Aaron Gordon. Like it's kind of a funny thing to talk about lineups because I feel like this will be the least consistent pairing of players that we'll ever
rotation
see.
Twitter is going to be just out in full force over the next couple weeks. It's like their Super Bowl.
Ryan Blackbird has never made a more interesting minutes chart.
The pressure's on.
I know, dude. This is statement week for Ryan Blackbird. He's really got to step up. But it's going to be like the staggers are going to be out of control.
I know.
There's going to be a lot of dudes running. Russell Westbrook's going to push the ball. Nikola Jokic is going to throw a shitload of outlet passes. And so, like, I kind of think Zeke will look fine in this world. It's like, can he play defense? And so I don't know, man. We'll see. I think he's definitely getting a chance. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And he'll get chances with Jokic. It won't just be like he is the starter. It's just going to be a lot of mix and match. But like, if you wanted a hand-picked time to return, if you're Zeke Naji, coming into a system that is now going to be in chaos, and you can sort of, I don't know, explore your game. No, what you could do is like you can, play in a way that's like just more about athleticism. It's not necessarily about structure and like all that stuff. So I'm interested. We'll see.
Yeah, and the other part of it with Zeke, and I kind of just mentioned this a second ago, I really do think best case scenario is you can showcase him a little bit, and maybe this would be an argument to start him. You showcase him a little bit, he gets some trade value, or even he gets his trade value